Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, how are you doing today?
Good, Mataji.
Good? That's fantastic. Okay. So,
Dandavat pranam, Mataji.
Dandavat pranam to you and Dandavat pranams to you, Vaishana Mataji. And just give me a second here. My Facebook seem to have dipped there. I need to make sure that it gets going. And welcome to Shivasa Prabhu and to Mathura Prasad Prabhu who joined us here on the call as well. And I'm going to watch and see if people are joining me on the audio conference. Yeah, so Sonal Mataji is joined just now on the audio conference. That's fantastic. And let me see how can I go and get connected to her back there. So Sonal Mataji, can you say Hare Krishna so that I know you're here?
Hare Krishna.
Okay, fantastic. And welcome Archana Mataji. She's come already with the bead bag.
Yes, Mataji, there it is.
Good.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Dandavat
Hare
pranam.
Krishna, Dandavat pranam. So we will do our chanting. It's a little past 6 o'clock, and we are going to chant today for the world peace, and especially also keep His Holiness Bhaktuchari Swami Maharaj as we pray for his quick recovery from the COVID virus that's going around here. Okay, so pranam mantra to the Guru, and then we get started. We'll do one round of chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Om Ajnana Timarandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktamitra. All of us together. Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama,
Hare
Rama Rama, Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
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 Rama,
Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
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 Hare
Rama Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
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 Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
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 Rama,
Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama Rama,
Rama
Hare Hare,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Hare
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 Rama,
Hare Rama,
Rama Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Hare
Rama, Rama
Rama, Rama
Rama, Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare Rama,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama Rama,
Rama,
Hare Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare Rama, Rama
Rama
Rama, Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare Rama,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama Rama,
Rama Rama,
Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama
Rama
Rama, Hare
Rama,
Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Rama Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Rama,
Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare Rama,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Hare
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 Rama,
Rama, Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare Rama,
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
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 Hare Rama, Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Hare Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama
Rama, Rama
Rama, Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare
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 Rama,
Rama, Hare
Rama
Rama, Rama
Rama, Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare Rama,
Rama, Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare Rama,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare Rama,
Rama, Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama,
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 Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama,
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Rama, Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Rama
Rama, Hare
Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama Rama,
Rama Rama,
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
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 Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Rama, Hare
Rama, Rama
Rama,
Rama, Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
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 Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare Rama,
Hare Rama, Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Rama, Hare
Rama, Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare
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 Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
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 Rama, Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama,
Rama Rama,
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
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 Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
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 Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare
Rama,
Rama, Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
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 Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare Rama, Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare
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 Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare
Hare Rama, Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Ram,
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 Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare Ram, Hare
Ram,
Ram, Ram Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram, Ram
Ram
Ram,
Ram,
Hare Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare Ram, Hare
Ram
Ram, Ram
Ram,
Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Ram,
Ram,
Ram Ram,
Hare Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
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 Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Ram,
Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare
Rama, Hare
Rama,
Rama, Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Rama,
Hare Rama, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Hare Rama, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare.
Hare Rama,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Ram
Rama,
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare.
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram,
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 Hare Hare,
Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Ram,
Ram
Ram
Ram,
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Ram,
Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare.
Hare Ram, Ram
Ram
Ram,
Ram,
Hare Hare,
Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare.
Hare Ram,
Hare Ram,
Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Hare.
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Ram,
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 Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare.
Hare Ram, Ram
Ram
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare Ram, Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram, Hare
Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare.
Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare.
Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare.
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare.
Hare Ram,
Hare Ram,
Ram
Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare.
Hare Ram,
Hare Ram, Hare
Ram
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare.
Hare Ram,
Hare Ram,
Ram
Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare.
Hare Ram,
Hare Ram,
Ram
Ram
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare.
Hare
Ram
Ram, Ram Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
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 Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare.
Hare Ram,
Ram
Ram Hare Hare,
Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
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 Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare.
Hare Ram,
Ram
Ram Hare Hare,
Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare.
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare.
Hare Ram,
Ram
Ram
Ram,
Hare Hare,
Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram, Ram
Hare Hare,
Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare.
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare Ram, Ram
Hare Hare,
Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare.
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare Ram, Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare.
Hare Ram,
Hare Ram, Hare
Ram
Ram, Ram
Hare Hare,
Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Ram,
Hare Ram,
Ram
Ram
Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare.
Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. So I do a few extra rounds for those of you who might have joined a little bit later. And so let's see who joined us while we were chanting. So we have Varshana, Sutapa, Priyanka, and Arjuna who have joined us on Zoom. And on our Facebook, we have Sadhana Ellen Mataji. And Sadhana Mataji, if you can look at your Facebook message, I have sent you a message there. And we also have Shraddha-devi Dasi from India, Arun Begra Prabhu, and Kuldeep Pran Prabhu, and Dilip Bhai Patel Prabhu is also there. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. So we will begin with our chapter of Bhagavad-gita. In the evenings every Tuesday, we do a different chapter. And what chapter are we doing today? If you can kindly guide me on that. Chapter?
Mataji, chapter 6, Dhyana Yoga.
Chapter 6, you are doing Dhyana Yoga. Isn't that fantastic to be doing Dhyana Yoga? Okay. And then Chapter 6 Dhyan Yoga. And what verse are we doing?
45.
45.
Yes,
Varshana, is it
Mataji.
right, Mataji?
45 Mataji.
45.
All
45.
fantastic. And you know what? I have even better news here that Vidhi Madhvi Mataji from Minnesota and Soni Mataji from California have also joined us on the audio conference together with Sonal Mataji, who was already there right from the beginning. So we are doing chapter 6, verse number 45. And let me bring that up here, and I will try to share that also with you so that you can all see. So this is vedabase.io. I'm going there. I'll go up and bring up Bhagavad-gita. As soon as I get to that particular verse, I will start sharing the screen with you so that you don't have to suffer the agony of seeing me fumble here. And I'll try to search for the 6 or 7 windows that are open here. I'm almost there here, 45. And I might also have to give the link for those of you who are joining us on the audio. So let's see, how do I do that? I'll have to go to WhatsApp to do that. And our group is called Vedic Readings, where we post information about everything that we're reading here. So Hare Krishna to the devotees and the link. And anybody on the audio conference, if you can please speak up and tell me that you have received the link. Sonal Mataji, Soni.
Shraddha Mataji, can you send Shraddha Mataji the Zoom link?
Sadhana, yeah, I have sent her the Zoom link, Mataji, on her Facebook Messenger. Do you want me to send it to her?
Because she texted me if I could send the Zoom link, but
Yeah. So she has joined us on Facebook, by the way. She has joined us on
I know,
Facebook,
but she wants to join on Zoom.
On Zoom, yeah, I sent her on as a Facebook Messenger. I've sent it to her, and and let me send it to her again over WhatsApp, right? So can somebody do a Hare Krishna mantra there from the Zoom call, please? And while I'm typing all this thing for Sadhana.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Rama
Rama
Rama,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Rama, Hare
Rama,
Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Rama
Rama, Hare
Hare.
All righty. Thank you. Thank you so much for keeping the transcendental vibration going. We should not let even a single moment pass by. And so Sonal Mataji, I've sent the links to Sadhana Mataji on WhatsApp. And
Thank
she
you.
has,
Sorry about
Okay.
no problem at all. She has
Okay,
read, she has read it also. And
I'm
here
in.
she is. She is in. We
I'm
see
in.
her in all glories.
that.
Okay. Please
Very,
welcome
very
Sadhana
well.
Mataji to
Very
Zoom.
well.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank
Fantastic.
you.
Okay, yes, welcome. So this is our Sadhana Mataji. She is in the Bay Area, and she's responsible for helping Vaishachika Prabhu with doing Krishna Katha at the corporations in corporate America. So welcome, Sadhana Mataji. So happy to have you here. And
Thank you for having me.
yeah, and I had said that, I always say that your Vaishnavas fulfill your desires. I was saying that in the morning that I wish she could join us here on Zoom, and here she is.
Okay. Oh, great.
She is on Zoom. Okay, So now we are all set and ready. So we'll start with the Mangalacharan prayers, and after that we'll go into the Gita verse for today. And Sadhana Mataji, we are doing chapter 6, verse number 45, and we will share that on the screen, so you don't have to do anything other than take notes if you want to take notes. Okay. So Mangalacharan prayers is short, bringing that, and I'm just going to put everybody on mute temporarily, so that I'm recording these prayers here, and at any time you are always welcome to unmute yourself, and I will be giving you those privileges to unmute. And there we go. Om Ajnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padkamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam Sja. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Vancha Kalpaturubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Gopremanande Hari Hari Bo. Welcome to our Tuesday call on the Srimad Bhagavad-gita. We are going to read today from chapter 6, verse number 45. And as some of you had pointed out, that in chapter 6, verse number 45, in chapter 6 precisely, we have been reading about Dhyana Yoga. And what does yoga mean? What does the word yoga mean? And you have to
connect.
Yoga means
To connect.
okay,
To connect.
and more precisely, like if I dial a phone number and I get connected, is that yoga?
Connecting oneself with the God.
Connecting with God, yes, precisely, right? So yoga is usually used in that context, connecting with God. Okay, so dhyana yoga is that when you meditate and you connect with God, which basically means that if I sit down and if I start saying that I'm meditating on the pen, that is not yoga, right? Yoga means you have to form the picture of Lord while you are meditating in your heart. Okay, so let's see. I'm sharing my screen, I believe, which has Bhagavad-gita 645. Can you please confirm that you can see, any one of you?
Yes, Mataji, we can see it.
Yes, Mother.
Okay, fantastic. So we'll just get started. Yeah. Prayatnat yatamanastu Yogi samshuddha kilbishaha anek janma samsiddhas tato yati param gatim prayatnat yatamanstu yogi samshuddha kilbishaha anek janma samsiddhas tato yati param gatim prayatnat yatamanastu yogi samshuddha kilbishaha anek janma samsiddhas tato yati param gatim. Then we'll go over and look at the synonyms here. So priyatnat, priyatna. Priyatnat is coming from priyatna. Priyatna means to make an attempt to do something. So priyatnat is by rigid practice. Because in practice, you do something like that, right? So priyatnat yatamanaha. Yatamanaha is that you are endeavoring. Yatamanaha, you're endeavoring to do something. Yogi is such a transcendentalist. So why is yogi not translated as just transcendentalist? Why is Prabhupada saying such a transcendentalist? This means he must have talked about transcendentalist in the previous verses, right? So let's try to find our bearings in chapter 6. We have come a long way, 45. We are on the 45th verse of a chapter which has 47 verses. It took us quite a long time to do that because we do only one verse a day. So it's been months since we have been talking about Dhyan Yoga. So before I go further into the synonyms, can you please share your reflections with me and tell me what is that you remember from the chapter 6? Any words that come to your mind are good. If you share a verse, then you get 10 points. Whether you are on Facebook or whether you are on audio conference or whether you are on Zoom, you can share a word. Any word or any concept that comes to your mind that we talked about in chapter 6 for 3 months now, for sure, or more.
Samsiddham.
Samsiddham. So very fresh from the memory, Samsiddham is what Sonal Mataji picked up. And what does that mean, Sonal Mataji?
Perfection.
Perfection. And Samsiddham is you achieve that perfection.
Oh,
right?
for perfection.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
So I remember one thing, Mataji, that like our mind is when we are chanting or we think so, our mind is going here and there. So it's like that we rein the horse. We need to rein our mind so that it can be stable.
You remember that that controlling our mind is like taming a wild horse. Yes, good. We did talk about that. Yeah. What else? Varshana Mataji, are you trying to say something?
Dhimatam, Mataji. Dhimatam.
And what is Dhimatam? And where did we read Dhimatam?
In the text 42, Dhimatam,
Yes.
those who wrote with great wisdom.
Dhimatam is those who have got great wisdom. And in what context was the word Dhimatam used? What were they saying? What was the word Dhimatam used to describe? Was it describing someone there?
About the transcendentalist Mataji yogi.
Yeah, which yogi was it describing? We are talking about yogis, right? For the past few weeks, we have been talking about yogis. So which yogi are we talking about? Any yogi or a particular yogi? And we talked about Dhimatam, and you're right, you're on the right track. But why did we bring in the word Dhimatam there in verse number 42? Or for that matter, don't even look back. Just from your memory, tell me that what types of yogis are we talking about here? There are two types. Transcendentalist. Okay, good. Transcendentalist means that they are thinking on something beyond. Like I said, that if you just concentrate on a pen, then it is not yoga. You're not a transcendentalist. Transcendentalist is when you bring Krishna and you focus on Krishna. So so my question was that we are talking about transcendentalists, but for the past few weeks, we have been talking about some particular type of transcendentalists. And I'll give you a hint that we were talking about two types of transcendentalists.
Yeah, Mataji, we are talking about two types of unsuccessful transcendentalists.
Very good. We were talking about unsuccessful transcendentalists, right? Yes. And so what were the two types? Anybody wants to take that? For 350 points, I'll give it to you. What are the two types?
Somebody else wants to go for it?
Okay, good. That's huge. That's magnanimity. You're giving away your point to somebody else. Awesome. Good. So what
So
are
if
the...
someone is born in a spiritual family of acharyas, and then they're very learned, but because they don't have enough training, then they come back, but they take birth in a rich family.
Okay, so this is about that the unsuccessful transcendentalists. What happens to them after they come back again, right? Right. So that's good. Yeah, hold on to the thought. But for 350 points, tell me what were the two types of unsuccessful transcendentalists? There were two types. It's very important to know that there are two types. It's very simple. Very simple. It has got to do with the progress.
Somebody else wants to go for it, or I shall speak, Mataji.
Going one, going two, going three, and I give it to Archana Mataji to tell us what that is.
Yeah, Mataji, you have talked about two types of unsuccessful transcendentalists.
Mm-hmm.
One who does short practice of yoga, and other one is like who do like long practice of yoga. So the unsuccessful yogi who do short practice of yoga, they are born into righteous families.
Hold on, Archana, hold on.
Families.
Oh, can't
the
you?
one
Hold on. Okay, one at a time. Just answer the question that I asked you. Okay, so you already gave us the two types of transcendentalists, and so you said that one who has done short amount of practice, and the other who has done a long practice for a long time, right? I will refine your answer. No. We are talking about yogis here, right? We're talking about yogis who are trying to connect with God, right? Trying to connect with God. And Archana Mataji said there are two types. And she said that those who have, and she said we are talking about unsuccessful transcendentalists. And we said there are two types. One, she said, who have done practice for a short time, and other who have done for a long time, right? And I'm just going to modify the answer, Archana, if you may permit, a little bit, and bring it to a little bit more accuracy. So can I do that?
Yeah, Mataji.
Okay.
Why not?
So if I practice for a very long time, right? But what about my progress, right? I could be just sitting there struggling with my meditation, putting in 6 hours a day of meditation, and still nothing comes out of it, right? And then I could be doing it for a very short time, but I do it with full concentration, right? So when you're talking about the unsuccessful transcendentalists, we will say that we will measure them by virtue of the progress, and not just by how much of time they have input into the system, right?
Yes,
so
Mataji.
yeah, very good. So if you are advanced or you're not advanced, right? Yoga Ruda, like that, in stage is a higher stage. So when you are, and both of them die, right? So my question now is, where do they go after they die?
They go to the Mataji heavenly planets, to the pious planet.
Very
and
good.
Then,
both of them will go to the heavenly planets, right? Okay, next question. What happens after that? After they go to heavenly planets?
They will come back, Mataji.
They will come back? Okay, very good. So Sutapa Mataji says they will come back. So now one was a fairly advanced transcendentalist who died, and another one's not so fairly advanced. So let's say one was a junior and one was an intermediate. One was a beginner and one was an intermediate. Let's say that, okay? So where will Mr. Junior go and where will Miss Intermediate go?
Hare Krishna Mataji, according to their whatever, I mean, as much they have done, the one who is a junior one will go to the planet considering his meditation, his yoga. According to that, he will go there, and the one who is a senior, who has achieved, he will go to the senior planet and stay there for some time. Heavenly planet.
Yeah, but the question, Varshana Mataji, was that after they go to the heavenly planet, they will stay there, right? And then
Yes.
after that, what will happen?
Mataji,
They'll
after
to the they will come back to the earthly planet to complete their
Sadhana.
sadhana.
Sadhana. Okay, good.
Senior one will take birth to a Brahman family or
Who will
righteous
take
families
who will
where
take birth? Sorry, who will take birth?
the
Senior, more
senior
advanced. More
more
advanced. Okay.
advanced, yes, so that he or she can continue the devotional service to the next level.
Okay. And so that, yeah, they will continue, and so they will be given an ambience, right? They'll be given an atmosphere that they look at their mom and dad and they are chanting, right? Like that. So for example, Varshana Mataji, you were born in a family where your father was already chanting Ram, 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 right? So you see
Yes.
how you get born in a good family. And then, okay, so what about the not too advanced? Where does he go? After he goes to the heavenly planets, where does he go?
He goes to a rich family where he has no problem. He will have all the comforts available to him, and he will be able to, practice his. But there is a chance for him because of the riches, he may fall down. But he is given all the comforts and the facilities to advance in his sadhana.
Okay, very good. So now there were some answers coming from the audio conference as well. And I think Sudhir Mataji was trying to say something.
Yeah, I was saying that those who are like unsuccessful yogis, they come to take birth in the aristocratic family, rich aristocratic family, or righteous people.
Yes. Okay, good. Yeah, she was also saying the same thing, that they are born in an aristocratic or a rich family. Okay. So, and then Varshana Mataji already pointed out that if you're born in a aristocratic and a rich family, then you know, you don't have to face the drudgeries of life, but there are chances that you know, we can fall down because of the riches and the opulence there. Okay. Now let's take the one who was advanced. So when he is born in an advanced family, then how does he start? What has to be done to him so that he can get started again? Is there anything to be done to him so that he can get started? Do we have to do something to him?
Because I think because they born in that family where the tradition is followed, so they like because of their previous life, and they start from there, and then if they born in that family where there all the tradition.
That we have already covered. That we have already covered, right? So we don't need how they fall and where they fall and where they are born and things like that. The question is that now they're already born in the transcendentalist family, and my question is that, is there something that has to be done to them?
Yes, Mataji.
And what do you have to do to them?
Yeah, Mataji, once they're born in learned transcendentalist family, their consciousness will be revived, divine consciousness.
How do you revive? That's what I'm saying. What do you have to do to them? Is there anything you have to do to them?
By their previous consciousness.
Yeah.
Hold on. Somebody.
Previous divine consciousness.
Yeah. So yeah. Okay. On the Zoom, and you are right, dear Madhvi. On the Zoom, answer please.
Mataji, there is means within the sanskara will be there. So the ambience, if he sees his parents, that chanting and doing the sadhana, so from the previous birth, as the sanskara is there, means in the soul, so he will revive, or he or she will revive from there.
Right. I was looking for the word automatically. There's nothing, and yes, automatically, right? You don't have to do anything. The parents don't have to go with a stick after the child and say, hey, you sit down and do your rounds. They have that natural taste. They will do it by themselves. So 644, which I'm sharing on the screen, is, you know, showing us by virtue of the divine consciousness of his previous life, he automatically becomes attracted. Now, which means that even if you're not born in a family of righteous people, a family of, where people are, already pursuing Krishna consciousness, even if you're not born in a family like that, your divine consciousness will be automatically revived. Can you give me an example? How somebody was not in a family of transcendentalists, yet was
Prahlad Maharaj?
Prahlad
Prahlad
Maharaj for
Maharaj.
250 points. Yes, exactly, right?
Even
It was the other
Haridas.
extreme.
Haridas Thakur.
Haridas Thakur, much closer in time. Yeah, we have jumped several yuga cycles and you have come here to this yuga. We talk about Haridas Thakur. Yes, Haridas Thakur we got from the audio conference, and we got Haridas Thakur here on Zoom as well, right? So now we know, okay, so we know that his consciousness will be automatically revived. Okay, now let's go back to our verse which we had left. So that it's very important to have those connections clear in your head where we're going, especially because we have a 1 week gap between the two, but you remembered a lot. Okay, I have to give that to you. All right, so then he's saying that he is born there, his consciousness is revived, and then after his consciousness is revived, what is he doing? Prayatnat. What is the meaning of prayatnat?
Practice, rigid practice.
Rigid practice. It is not just, a practice like that. Some days I'll do it, some days I won't do it. Rigid practice, right? And then he's endeavoring, making those attempts, right? Okay. And what happens? For such a transcendentalist, samshuddha, washed away. What gets washed away? Kilbishaha. Sounds like a very nice word, right? Kilbishaha. But what is that? All of whose sins, right? It's sins over there. And then how long does it take? How long does it take to, for him to achieve perfection? It says aneka. What does aneka mean? What does aneka mean?
Many.
After many births, right? Aneka, after many janma is birth. Samsiddhaha is
Having achieved perfection.
having achieved perfection. So you achieve perfection. Tataha is thereafter. Yati means attained. Param is highest and Gatim is destination. So what is the highest destination?
To get
To reach the
the love of Godhead.
Okay, one at a time.
To reach Golok Vrindavan after achieving this love.
Okay. Okay. And Sutapa Mataji, you had something different?
Yes. Destination. No, Mataji, no, I was telling to get the love of Godhead.
You love the love of Godhead. Yeah. And once you get the love of Godhead, this is when you are eligible to enter into Golok Vrindavan, which is the highest planet in the spiritual world. Okay. So questions here. What is sins? What is a word that is connected with sins in Sanskrit? Please give it to me for 50 points.
Kilbisha.
Kilbisha. All right. Okay. And then what is the meaning of somebody who, what is Sanskrit for endeavor? When you're endeavoring.
Yatmana.
You threw in a through expertise over there. Yatamanaha. Right? Okay, right. If I'm doing some practice rigidly, what is that called?
Prayatna.
And if I do a lot of pratnat, hopefully with the blessing of the Lord, I will achieve perfection. What will you call that in Sanskrit? Samsiddhaha. All right. And if I'm born, what will you call that?
Janma.
And if I get the highest perfection, what will you say I have reached? Param Gatim. Okay, fantastic. Okay, so let's go here further into the translation. We are becoming Sanskrit experts. Very good. Translation: when the yogi engages himself with sincere endeavor in making further progress, being washed of all contaminations, then ultimately achieving perfection after many births of practice, he attains the supreme goal. Okay? It takes many births. And let's read the purport. A person born in a particularly righteous, aristocratic, or sacred family becomes conscious of his favorable condition for executing yoga practice. He becomes conscious by himself. With determination, therefore, he begins his unfinished task, and thus he completely cleanses himself of all material contaminations. When he is finally free from all contaminations, he attains, please mute yourself if you're not speaking and you're in a noisy environment. When he's finally free from all contaminations, he attains the supreme perfection, Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness is the perfect stage of being freed of all contaminations. This is confirmed in the Bhagavad-gita 7.28. Yesham, all of you together with me. Yesham tva antagatam papam jananam punya karmanam te dvandva moha nirmukta bhajante mam dridhavritaha. And what does it mean? After many, many births of executing pious activities, when one is completely freed from all contamination and from all illusory dualities, one becomes engaged in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. Om Tat Sat. Okay, so now comes the time to do some reflections on what we have read so far. And I'd like to welcome Garima Mataji, who has joined us on the Zoom call as well.
Thank you, Mataji. So this verse reminds me, like many words, tapasya is required to attain devotional service of Lord. And the example you gave in the last lecture, that innings in the test match, the scoreboard is not, it is from the previous thing. So if like we have to see that if we keep on saying, oh, this person is not good, or this because, or I am better, or this is better because they have done it previously.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
we should just concentrate on improving our devotional service.
Yes, and this example was given by His Grace Chaitanya Charan Prabhu, who had come to ISKCON of Silicon Valley, and he likes to give cricket examples. I think he likes cricket a lot. But yes, he said that, you know, if you are in the second innings of a game, then two teams might seem to have a different score there. And why we have a different score is because of the stuff that we have done in the past, right? So now you see here very clearly that when the two unsuccessful yogis die, then both are going to heavens because they did something pious, so they are going to the heavenly planets. But when their credits are exhausted, they will come back again here, right? And then where they come back is determined by what they did in the previous birth. So it's not by just a chance that people are born, beautiful, or they're born in a rich family, or they're very intelligent, they're famous. It all comes from what you have done in your previous life, like that. Okay, good point. What else comes to your mind here?
Mataji, from the word contamination means what my thought is that first we have to realize that we are contaminated, means there are so many anarthas in there.
Yeah.
So then only if we realize that, then only we can go to the path of the devotional service and remove that.
Very good point. Very, very good point, right? I mean, it happens in our real life also, that even for the doctor to diagnose, even for a doctor to give us the right medicine, right? He has to first find the fault, right, where it is, right? So we have to find the fault. What fault do we have, right? And can you tell me a verse or maybe a line from a verse which talks about the faults that I have? One line.
Karpanya dosha.
Okay, Karpanya dosho. Krishna is finding faults with himself. Very good. Karpanya dosho. Pahata swabhava. So he's saying that due to miserly weakness. So he's pointing out that I'm a miser, Arjuna is saying. Because of miserly weakness, I'm not able to fight. And I'm seeing these all people on the battlefield as my relatives. And I can't kill them. Okay, right? All right. What else? What else is a sentence that we find? Madhavi, please go ahead.
Sorry, I'm cutting you. So it's just endeavor is very important for the making progress in devotional service. because main first point is Mataji said we are already contaminated. We know that like we are contaminated. Then the second point is like we can endeavor to uh, step by step
Okay.
progress.
All right. Yes. So thank you for that reflection. Where Dheer Madhvi is saying that endeavoring is important, and step by step you endeavor, and step by step you will reach your destination. Now going back to my question, which was continuing on with the reflection that Sutapa Mataji shared, and you said that we have to first understand and accept that we have faults. Then I was saying, can you give me one line where we are accepting that we have faults? Come on. Early morning, Bhagavad-gita class students, give me that line.
We had the Papatma.
Yeah, Matsamo Nasti
Nasti
Patatma.
Papatma, Na Paradija Kaschana.
Na Paradhi.
Hare Lajjami, Hinduve Varushottama.
Wow, there you go. She has memorized one full verse from that prayer. Right? Matsamo Nasti Papatma, Na Paradhi Chakaschana. Parihare Pilajjame Kim Bhruve Purushottama. He's saying that there's nobody more sinful than me, and nobody has committed more crimes than I have. And I am banged on my head. I'm ashamed of what I've done. What can I speak to you, Lord? Like that. That's a good mood to start. Okay, more reflections from what
Which verse is that, Mataji?
Which word is that? You have to come to the 6:30 class to know what verse is that. We don't give it for free in the Tuesday evening class. Okay, jokes apart. Yeah, jokes apart, Madhavi. It's there on my website. The website is nityasankirtan.com. And all these prayers are hanging from there. Okay. Yeah. It's called Vigyapti Panchaka prayers. Okay. Yeah. All right. What else? What else you stuck your mind from what we read today? From today, what we were saying, he does rigid practice, right? And after doing religious practice, and then there was a verse that Prabhupada quoted, right? Yesham tvantagatam papam, right? Jananam punya karmanam te dvanda moha nirmukta bhajante mam dharavata. And he was saying that, and as you had also pointed out, that you have to endeavor. And what do you have to endeavor? You have to do activities, As people do many, many births of pious activities, and then, but they have to be freed from all the contamination. The mirror of my mind. And that's why Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, what did he say? Cheto darpana marjanam. Right? So cheto darpan marjanam has to be done. Right? When the mirror of the mind, cheto darpan means it's a mirror. Right? So what happens with our mind is that, and we had done that exercise before also, and we'll do that exercise again today, that I want you to just look at some object which is around you. So we'll take Garima because she seems to be walking outside and there might be lots of objects outside for her. So Garima Mataji, if you can unmute and tell us, what are you going to look at? Just take any object.
So there are a lot of fruits.
Which fruit?
Plum and peach.
Good. Okay. Oh, wow.
Trees, plants.
Okay, good. So I'll take a peach and you take whatever you want to take from there. Okay. Archana Madhavi, what do you have close to you?
Bus.
Okay. And what does Archana have? Bead bag. Okay, good. Sutapa, what do you have close to you? Show me, what do you have? Sutapa, unmute yourself and say something so that I can see you.
Yeah, I have the pencil. I'm taking the pencil.
Okay, yes. Yeah. Is it high? Because I only see upper portion of you, right? Varshana Mataji.
You have a bead bag, Mataji. I have a bead bag
as well? Okay. Okay. Sadhana Mataji, do you have something close to you?
Yeah. Gita, I was holding.
You got the Bhagavad-gita. Look at this. Look at this group. They have Bhagavad-gita. They have chanting back. What about those who are on the phone call? What do you have in your hand?
Just the phone.
You have the phone. Okay. But it's a transcendental phone. Okay. What else? Do you have something around you, Sonia Mataji, where you're sitting? Is there something there?
Yeah, I'm just sitting in a chair by the phone and a diary.
You have a diary? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We'll take the diary. And then others? Dheer Madhavi, what do you have?
Yeah, I have a diary and the laptop where I'm looking.
You have a diary also? Wow, we have two people who have a diary. So Sonal and Dheer Madhavi have a diary, right? Now, what I want you to do is to look at the object really nicely. So Varshana Mataji, you look at your chanting bag, right? And Archana, your chanting bag. And Sadhana Mataji, your Bhagavad-gita. Sutapa, your pen. And Garima has got a fruit there. And Priyanka, what do you have? We didn't hear. I don't know whether Priyanka is here with us because she had a...
I am making roti, so I have Belan.
You have Belan? Oh, better. I better not say anything to you. Okay. Now, since you're doing something and you're close to fire, I would not recommend you to take part in this exercise. Okay, you can just be here. You can just hear, right? Because it's dangerous to be near fire and try to meditate. All right. So everybody has got an object of meditation. Dheer Madhavi and Sonal Mataji have got diaries. So look at them for like 10 seconds. Look at the object for 10 seconds. And then I want you to close your eyes. And Vidya Badhu also has got a Bhagavad-gita in her hand. She tells us in India. Very nice. Close your eyes. Now, look at the object, close your eyes. And Garima, don't walk with your eyes closed. Please stop somewhere. And close your eyes and try to recall the object that you were focusing on. Close your eyes. And do you see? Do you see your object? And just nod your head to tell me whether you're able to see it. All right. So I see several heads nodding. And then those of you on the phone, you can tell me by a yes or no. Okay. And Sadhana Mataji is also nodding. Okay.
Yes.
So you have closed your eyes and you're seeing it, right? You are seeing it in what we call as the screen of your mind. So all the objects that you have looked with your eyes, they go and form an impression on the screen of your mind, and you see that, right? So who sees it? It is the soul who is seeing it. So there is an object outside of your body, and then you use your sense organs, your eyes, to look at that object. A picture of that forms on the screen, and even after you close your eyes, you're able to see it. Why? Because it's the soul that is seeing it in that screen of your mind. Okay? Now, don't take my word for granted that the soul is looking at it, right? I want you to ask this question of yourself, that who is looking at that picture in your mind? Who is looking at that plum? Who is looking at that book? Who is looking at that pen? And you will notice that the moment you try to look around and see who's looking at that, you are moving away from the object, because the one who's looking at the object is actually you. And what we think to be the screen where all these images are being projected is actually not a screen. It is actually a mirror, but it is so covered with dust that you think that it's a screen. So it's that badly covered. And if we somehow or other clean that mirror, somehow or other we clean it so that all the dust falls off, then because it's a mirror, you will be able to see yourself. You, the soul, will be able to see yourself in the mirror. And this whole devotional service, the first bigger step is to realize who you are, right? So the cleansing has to begin. All the sinful activities, and we had a very musical word for sinful activities today in our verse. Okay, so I want you to slowly open your eyes and then come back here to the Zoom call or audio conference call, Facebook, like that. Okay? So you see, there's a lot that is going on inside us that we are not aware of or we don't have time to focus on. But the reality is that we have mirrors that are full of dust, and that's why Cheto Darpana Marjanam Bhavamaha, right? That is why he's saying that we are there in this material world and we have got lots of dust. So can you give me some example of dust that covers our mind, that covers the mirror of our mind? Some examples. What could be? Could be
Anarthas.
all the anarthas? Yes, anarthas is a generic term. So can you elaborate and give me an example of an anartha like that?
Like Mataji, envy.
Envy, yes, very good. And what else?
Lust,
Yeah.
anger, greed.
Desires, material desires, yeah. Right? So these all are dusts that are there in the mirror of our mind. And we have to constantly clean, constantly clean, constantly clean. And guess what? Our senses are going to gather information from outside, which could lead to some more dust gathering in your mind. Can somebody give me and walk me through how, through our senses, can our mind gather dust? How, with the help of senses, can your mind gather dust?
There are eyes and ears, they hear, and eyes see, and they gather all the dust and it gets accumulated in your mind, on the mirror of your mind.
So why I'm looking at you? There's no dust being gathering in my mind because I'm looking at you. Why would I say I'm looking at a devotee? Why would dust gather in my mind? So give me a more.
Through ear, Mataji. Through ear.
Through
Like
the ear?
Shravanam.
Okay, so
Yeah.
how can dust gather in my mind through ears?
Means if we leave the devotee association and go to the material world, or like mundane people with the mundane activity, especially like karmis, so from they will talk the mundane things. So from there we can gather something for some moment that our mind will cover with that thing. Means the
Very good, right? And also, so what Mataji was saying in a nutshell was that you hear mundane talks through your ears and they will get settled as dust in your.
And in that case, Mataji, I remember that yesterday class you told that the Gundicha temple, means people, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was cleaning the temple, and there was so many muds outside the temple. So people are walking through the muds, and when they are entering the temple, they are bringing the anarthas with them.
Yes.
So you have to be careful with that association, because surroundings area and environment and everything.
Everything, exactly. Because now give me an example of a mundane material talk. Give me an example of a material talk.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Yesterday, somebody sent me a very nasty message. Then, second, his daughter sent me the same message forwarded. And third, his wife also sent me the same message. And same message 3 times. And I was trying to forget, let it be. But till 4 o'clock, I kept getting that nasty message, which disturbed my mind so much. And finally, you see, I just went to the bathroom, washed my face nicely, and went to my temple and said, Lord, please forgive them. They are unnecessarily creating problem on my mind. So for a good about 6 hours, this dust was on my mind, which was very difficult to bear for me.
Yes, thank you so much for sharing that. Yeah, this is how the mind operates. This is how the dust goes there, gathers, and then leads to further thoughts, right? Now, if somebody sends you a nasty message, you should nip it in the bud. What are some of the actions we can do if somebody sends me a nasty message? What do we do? How did you get the message? You got an email? They called you? They WhatsApped you? What did you do?
WhatsApp.
Right. So what are some of the things? And I'm asking everybody here, not necessarily Vaishana Mataji.
So Mataji, we can tell them politely that we don't like that message, but still if we get, then we have to block them, or maybe we can ignore them without answering back to them. 2, 3.
Yes, 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 right? So you have to, yeah.
Or once, means if you get the message but without reading, just delete.
Yes, yes. And so what was happened? So did they keep on sending you messages, or did you just get the message once from them? Vaishana Mataji.
I got it actually yesterday was my father-in-law's death anniversary. So I got a very nasty message.
No, that is not the question. The question is that did you get the message only once, or did they keep sending you the message again and again?
They keep sending me the message again and again. Three different people.
No, that's fine.
I'm in
But
same family.
each one of them sent it only once, right?
Yes.
Right. But you see, it was as if they were sending it to you again and again, because the mind can replay. The mind is replaying the hurt. You're going over that experience over and over and over again, right? The first thing is you have to nip it in the bud. Don't allow them to send you nasty messages at all. So you can always disconnect. You have the right to choose what you want to listen. And sometimes listening happens over WhatsApp, right? You have a choice. There's no harm. There's nothing bad. And there's nothing wrong in dropping that kind of association that's going to take away 6 hours. I mean, you're already hard pressed for time, isn't it? You have
Yes.
to attend, you have chance to do, you have seva to do and all that. Just cut them. This is what it means. Devotee association is so important, and giving up the material association is also very important, especially this kind that can keep you up, make you upset for sick. Nip it in the bud. Right when it starts, just give it up. There's no point. There's no good is going to come out of that, right? And then still you can you can raise yourself to a higher notch, which you did. And what did you say? You went to Krishna and said, Krishna, please forgive them. And even before you say that to Krishna, please forgive them, you have to forgive them, right? And it's a difficult thing. It's a practice that you have to keep on doing again and again, again and again, again and again, like that. Right? But good, yes, it's a very good example of how you could see your mind can gather some dust that, some, maybe Varshana is not like that. Her demeanor is different. She's forgiving, also very forgiving, but everybody might not have that reaction. You can have anger, revenge, resentment, all those kinds of things can get accumulated in your mind just from gathering this information. So I was telling you that our eyes are actually seeking information. Our ears are actually seeking. So our senses actually go out. It's not that words just come and fall in our ears, or we are looking, subconscious, we are looking for these things. They capture, and the mind goes, and the mind expands it. So there's another layer and another layer and another layer that mind will act itself. And you know that, right? Like even in our house, even in our houses, if we let the dust gather, then it'll gather even more dust, right? Dust attracts dust, isn't it? Like that. So similarly in a mind also, this kind of things will attract dust. So take the shelter of the holy name. Every time you have a feeling of hurt, every time that you have a feeling of anger or resentment or annoyance, you could have been annoyed at what they're doing, or we would have thought like what kind of people they are. Every time you can say, I'm going to chant the holy names of the Lord. That will bring you again and connect you into the transcendental world, like that. Right? So
Yes,
yeah, so it's very important, and especially because yoga that we're talking about is about connecting with the mind. It's about controlling the mind, right? And how do we control the mind if the mind is controlling us this way, right? But we have to remember, we have to constantly remind ourselves that there is a hierarchy, and that hierarchy is listed in Bhagavad-gita, 3rd chapter. So what it says, lowest is what? Dull matter. Above the dull matter are the, tell me, above dull matter is what?
Senses.
Very good.
Senses.
Very good. Above the senses, what is there above the senses?
Mind.
mind.
And above the mind is?
Intelligence.
And above the intelligent?
Soul.
Soul.
So you are much, much higher than the mind. The mind should not let us control, but mind has got fierce, godlike powers. It can sometimes even appear to control the intelligence. So what we have to do is we have to make sure that our intelligence also does not get contaminated. The intelligence does not think that, okay, for 600 times I have done this way, so this is the right way to do. 600 times I've committed a mistake, so this is what I will do naturally, right? At some point in time, and we are lucky that we come across Shastras, we come across Acharyas who are telling us what is the right thing to do. And that is why we read in the previous chapters of Bhagavad-gita on our way to chapter 6 is there is karma, vikarma, and akarma. So straight away we are told not to do vikarma. What is vikarma?
Anything which should not be.
Elaborate it a little bit more.
Actions, Mataji, which are done
Not be
against the scriptural injunctions.
Very good. That's the precise answer. Actions which are, because what is good and what is bad is highly subjective, right? What is good in one country can be considered to be very bad in another country. For example, if you go to some countries in India, some villages and things like that where this tradition is still maintained, and you go there and after you have your food, and if you don't belch after having the food, the host will be very upset. They will think that they are not appreciating my food by letting out a big belch to convey the information that the food was so fantastic that I ate so much and that now I'm belching because of that, right? But if you come here to the western side of the world and you let out a belch on the dining table, people will think you're uncouth, you're uncivilized and things like that. So what is good and what is bad is highly subjective. So then what do I know? What do I do? I fly off to one country and this is right, and I fly off to another country, that is wrong, same thing is wrong. What do I do now? So I have to have a term of reference. I should be able to go to some place where I can refer to it, right? So belching is good or not. I mean, some people might just say, you belched and some foul air came from your mouth, and other people on the table had to breathe that foul air from your mouth. It's bad manners. If you look at Ayurveda, they might say, letting out a belch is good, right? You're adjusting the air in your life. So there are contrasting thoughts on that, and both of them appear to be right. So what are we supposed to do? Right? So you have to go to a higher thing. Remember, 4 defects of the human brain, right? So don't go for things that are prescribed for you or proscribed, either way, do's and the don'ts for you by the human brain. Look for some stuff which is coming from a higher level. So what is it that comes to us from higher level? What is one word that we give for that? How is information from higher level conveyed to us? Through, it starts with the S in English.
Scriptures.
Scriptures. Yeah, and in Sanskrit?
Shastras.
Shastras, right? So anything which is done against the injunctions in the Shastras, right? That is vikarma. And what is karma?
Where we expect the fruitive results.
Where you accept results, exactly, right? So that is karma. And then what is akarma?
And Mataji, which doesn't have any reaction, the actions which don't have any reactions, our devotional service.
Yes. So actions for which you don't suffer or enjoy any reactions are known as akarma. And those actions are done for whom? For the pleasure of
Lord
Krishna.
Of the Lord Krishna, right? So you see how Arjuna in the beginning of Bhagavad Gita is saying, I will not fight. Why should I not fight? And one of the reasons that he gives for not fighting, he says, Kinno bhogena rajena, king bhoge yog vitercha, right? Tesham eva. So he's just saying that how will I enjoy this kingdom? Even if I win the war, how will I enjoy this kingdom if those for whom we are trying to gain this kingdom are all dead, right? Because if you're trying to enjoy something, then you need a partner to enjoy with. If I have a nice kingdom or if I build a nice house, I want to invite all my friends and we enjoy it together. We show it off like that. So Arjuna is saying that I can't fight the war because what will I enjoy? So he's thinking about his own enjoyment in the first chapter, right? But then Krishna walks him through the whole Bhagavad Gita, where he says that you're not the body, you're actually the soul, and yada, 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 karma, doing conscious, and ultimately devotional service, and so on and so forth. And if you're in a noisy environment, and please mute yourself. Then that same Arjuna goes and does the same thing, which he was not saying that I will not do. The same thing, like I will not kill my teacher, I will not kill my grandfather. He does the same thing in the end. And guess what? He does not accrue any results for that, bad results for doing that. Why? Because Krishna told him somewhere in the middle of the Bhagavad-gita that, look here, I have come here for paritranaya sadhunam, vinashaya cha duskritam. I've come here to destroy the evil. So it's already there in my plan. I am the Supreme Personality of Godhead. If I willed it, it will happen. And then he says, nimitta matra bhava savya sachin. Right? So he's saying, you just become an instrument. So then Arjuna became an instrument of Krishna's will. So he was doing it completely for Krishna. And that makes it a karma. Right? That is what makes it a karma, when you're doing it for Krishna. So even if you want to sit down and chant your rounds, you should do it for Krishna. Always like that. So when you are a yogi, when you have, unsuccessful, no need to feel panicky about that, because you will come back. You will come back. Krishna will arrange for a suitable place for you from where you can continue your devotional service. You can continue, and it'll happen automatically. It'll be as if some force there is, acting on you. And Krishna has made sure that if there is a force of devotional service that is, bursting out of you, then you have a supportive family that is going to surround you with it. And actually, Prabhupada had said that third generation or fourth generation of ISKCON devotees, the third or fourth generation of ISKCON devotees are going to be very highly advanced yogis. They are going to take birth, and they are the ones who will take Krishna consciousness to a higher level, the Krishna consciousness movement to a higher level, like that. So that's why sometimes you see people send you pictures of their little baby, and the father is chanting Hare Krishna, and the moment the father stops, the child starts crying. So these are people who have done devotional service in their previous life. They're tuned to the Hare Krishna mantra. They like it so much that if you stop, they start crying. It's that force of devotional service that is bursting through them. So the good news is that, there's nothing for it, nothing that we lose. We just lose the body, but who cares about the body? We saw that early in the morning, right? Dehismin yatha dehe kamaram yavanam jara tatha dehantar praptir dhiras tatra namuhyati. So we have understood that just as I pass through this many bodies in this life itself, what's the big deal at the end if I have to change and I have to go to another body? So dhir people who are sober, who understand the real truth, they do not get bewildered by that. Okay. What we have to do is that we have to become serious in our devotional service, and that is something that you will only get when there is good association. And Krishna has arranged for that good association by putting these souls in a good family. But then you can also, people from good families also go and do nonsense, because you can imbibe things from the external environment. So we have to be very careful about what we are getting from outside, right? And the example that I was giving last night, when I was talking to the congregation in Modesto, I gave them the example of Gundicha Marjanam. Gundicha Marjanam pastime of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, where there is this Gundicha temple close to Jagannath Puri, where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu decided to clean it, and he set forth his team of devotees who were with us that let's clean the Gundicha temple. So everyone brought a broom with them, and they started cleaning it and putting all the stuff, all the dirt, etc., in piles. And they were huge piles of dust. You pick up this and you broom it, you pick up that and you broom underneath it, and so on and so forth. So there were big pieces of straw, big stone pieces, big piles of mud and things like dust and things like that. So similarly, when you go and start clearing the mirror of your mind, then in the beginning, you will have a lot of anarthas, and you'll be able to recognize those anarthas also very clearly. Very clearly, you'll say that, okay, this is a bad habit. And what are the 4 anarthas that Prabhupada has cautioned us against? 4. Unmute yourself and tell me. 4 anarthas. Four regulative principles. Right? So those easy 4. that if you want to enter into this Krishna consciousness team, then what are those four? Can you tell me?
Yes, Mataji. No illicit sex, no meat eating,
Anybody wants to help, Varshana?
Yeah, Mataji. No meat eating,
No
intoxication,
Okay.
no gambling, and no illicit sex.
Okay, yeah. And Sonal Mataji was also speaking on the speakerphone here on the audio conference, and she also listed the four correctly. Yeah. Yeah, so those are the four that just stay away from them, stay away from the anarthas. So in the beginning, it's very easy. It's very easy to understand that I have got this anartha in me, that I'm eating meat, so I have to give it up, right? But a subtle form of anartha could also be that I find a little meat in my home, and I have given up eating meat. So what do? I go and give it to somebody else. That's also a bad thing to do, right? So it becomes subtle and subtle and subtle. So what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was trying to demonstrate was that um, in the beginning, big pieces of dust and big pieces of sticks and straws and big pieces of paper will come, and it's easy to remove them. But then later on, it's the small things that are there, but they are still anarthas, right? So if you have a mirror of your mind which is full of dust, in the beginning you can just take a piece of cloth and dust it all off, and looks very clean and you think it's very nice, right? But you come back again and have a second look at it, and now you start finding, oh, this little piece I didn't clean, that little piece I didn't clean. And that's why you will see that all these highly evolved acharyas, and like Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Narottam Das Thakur, when they are writing the poetry, they're saying that I'm the most sinful person. Mausama patita prabhu nahi tribhumane. So there's nobody who's more fallen than I am. Why do they say that? Because their mirrors are cleansed to such an extent that even one speck of dirt on that mirror stands out, right? For example, if I take a black piece of cloth and it's full of black marks on it, I won't see. But if I have a white piece of cloth and one black spot on it stands out like nobody's business. So that is why, there are subtle things, they will stand out, they will be impedance to your devotional service. We have to do that. We have to make sure we cleanse them. And then he had them broom it, he had them sweep it. And then after that, he asked them to bring water and then wash it. So when you bring the water, you're washing it. So the water is Shravanadi Jal, right? So now you have to do Shravan, you have to do Kirtan, like that. And then all this water was getting washed and used for washing the temple was flowing out of the temple. So if water is going out of the temple, it'll create some muddy thing outside. And if somebody walks through that muddy thing and goes into the temple, he's going to dirty the temple, right? So what is the symbol? What is the analogy that we're trying to draw from here is that whatever is outside, that slush outside the temple, is our association. If you associate with slush, if you go into a muddy area, your feet are going to carry the dust into the mirror of your mind. In as much as if you walk into a temple with dirty feet, the temple is going to get the dust from your feet and get contaminated like that, right? So we have to be careful of the association that we also make. Because if you're trying to evolve in devotional service, if you're going to expand and go further up in devotional service, we have to have association of devotees, right? And you have to be freed, and you have to be washed of all the material contamination, all of them. Yoga system doesn't mean that you just sit down for 10 minutes, sit down for half an hour, I've done my yoga, I'm done. And then immediately after that, you start sinning. And even worse is that you think that now you have a license to sin because you have got the power to negate it. Because I'm doing yoga, I am a yogi, so I can do whatever I like. It's not going to affect me. It doesn't happen that way. The goods you do remains as good in a separate container. The bad you do remains separate in a separate container. The two do not negate. They do not do that. They stay separate forever, like that. And karma, both good and bad, has to be exhausted, like that. And there's only one thing that can cleanly wipe off all the karma that you have accumulated, and that is bhakti. Karmani nirdahati chak bhakti bhajam. Only karma, only thing that can wash off my good and bad karma is devotional service. And in that context, Bhajan Kumar Prabhu, who's from our congregation, he was sharing a very nice story about the Ganges and about the Yamuna. So we know that Yamuna is at a higher level. Both are sacred rivers, but Yamuna is higher than Ganga. Right? So he was saying that people go to the Ganges and they take a dip in the Ganges to wash off all their sinful reactions. Right? So all the bad karma that they have got, if you go into the Ganges, it gets washed off. And then they said that Yamuna is even higher. Now listen to this. So there was an Acharya, and he had his whole bunch of disciples who were inside the Yamuna, taking a bath in the Yamuna. And then the Acharya said that the Yamuna river is so powerful that if you go to the Yamuna river, it washes off your bad karma, just like the Ganges does. And it also washes off your good karma. And upon hearing them, half of the disciples quickly jumped out of the Yamuna river. Said, I don't want to have my good karma wiped out. But that's not the point, because to exhaust your good karma, also you have to come to this material world, right? And the moment you come to this material world, which is padam padam yad vipadam natesham, it's a very, very dicey situation, because you could, in the process of exhausting your good karma, which will give you a high birth, more money and things like that, you might end up doing something very nasty, like Nal Kuber and Mani Grieve. They were sons of Kuber, right? They were doing such a nasty activity that Narada Muni had to curse them, right? And bring them back into the path of becoming a devotee of the Lord. So we have to understand that, pious activities, they will accumulate, but it's not all good. So, and anyway, we don't have to worry about Dhyan Yoga at all, because for this age, the rule for this age is Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama eva kevalam, kalau, nasti eva, nasti eva, nasti eva, gatirata. So, to end this talk, why don't we all chant just one mantra together? You can all unmute yourself and do Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Gopremanande, Hari Hari. Oh, little Arjuna has come. Little Arjuna has come. Arjuna, say something.
Hari bol do. Arjun se.
This is
Hari bol bolo. Nahi.
Yeah. Okay, good. Arjuna is in the company of his mom. I don't have to worry about Arjuna at all. He will get it sooner or later, even though he says no right now. His camera shy. Okay, so then we'll call it a day today, and then tomorrow at 6 morning we will continue reading from the Bhagavad-gita. Right? We are doing chapter number 2. We'll use the same Zoom call. We will use the same, Facebook broadcast like that, and we will call it a day. It's more than past the half hour. 3 minutes past the half hour. Okay. So meet again. Vanchakalpatarubhya Gopremanande Hari Hari.
Thank you, Shraddha.
Thank you so much, Shraddha Mataji.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mataji.
Thank you goes to Srila Prabhupada.
Thank you very much.
Fantastic. Well, thank you, Sadhana Mataji. It's a joy having you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Hari bol,
Thank
Mataji.
you.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you, bolo.
Thank you, Mataji. Done good
Thank
pranam.
you, Mataji. Thank you for coming and joining so late in the night. Thank you, Arjuna. Arjuna.
Thank you, Arjun.
Mata, thank you.
Oh, wow. Thank you, Arjuna. That's so sweet of you. Now that made my day. Okay. Hare Krishna. Be safe and
Mata,
be
thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.